Welcome to Sheriff's Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7. Join us every week as we talk various aspects of law enforcement and how important it is for the citizens and law enforcement to work together. Now join us for another edition of Sheriff Talk on KWN Live and Local TV Channel 7. And welcome in to this week's edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV. We welcome you to the program. Of course, we'll update you first on several news stories that are happening around the four-county area, and then we'll get into talking with our law enforcement officials. And we welcome Sheriff Ray Cross, and you got another officer there with you.
Yeah, I've got Kevin Haswell. He's one of our corporals in the jail, brought with me today.
And I understand he's fixing to go to mandate school.
Yeah, he served, I think, around, 2 years now in the jail, Kevin? 2 years. And he's done a good job back there, and we're going to be sending him to the academy, I believe, in April.
All right, and then Sheriff Bo Burnett will join us later on this hour. Sheriff, this is your day to host the tri-state area get-together with all the law enforcement. I know you got that coming up, so that's always, we've talked about it on this program. As a matter of fact, this program was kind of birthed out of y'all all sitting together and talking together.
It is. Yeah, we have this every quarter, and of course Jackson County Sheriff Chuck Phillips and Marion County Sheriff Bo Burnett will be going to this and bringing their detectives and their task force officers with them, as well as I will mine. And we talk about drug activity coming across the state lines and thefts and stuff like that. And
I'm going to ask you I'll ask you some more questions about that coming up. But before we go to our first break, and then we'll get into the news, and there's been several things that we'll talk about. Mike's going to update us on the news here with as relates to law enforcement. You made a big announcement. If you're watching us live, it was last night. It was on Monday night at the Dade County Republican Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the candidates there that are running for office again, and of course I'm running for re-election. So I announced last night I am up for re-election, and I will be running to stay in office. So I appreciate all the support and votes that I can get from citizens of Dade County.
How's the first 3 years feel so far?
The first of it was a big learning curve. I didn't know that a sheriff had so much to do, and been busy. But we have now got things leveled out, running smooth. In my opinion, we made hundreds, if not thousands, of drug arrests, as you see in the paper all the time and your station. But I just think we've done a great job. Our deputies have done a great job. We've seen more officers in neighborhoods where they should be. And just they're doing a fantastic job, and not only them, but our investigators doing a great job. So I'm just well pleased.
A lot of people don't realize in the state of Georgia, or any state actually. I mean, there's a little bit of differences from different states, as we've talked about on this program. Responsibilities of a sheriff is there's a lot of things that people don't even know that the sheriff is responsible for.
Right.
In each state.
Well, I had a lady call me yesterday, well, actually the day before, and then yesterday, about a homeless lady from Alabama that had lost her home down there and trying to get her some help. And, we're trying all we can, but the resources in Georgia a lot of times don't want to help somebody from another state, and we're trying to find her some help, and I hope we can. But that's just one of the things that, I told her, I said, listen, I'm in charge of law enforcement, but we'll try the best we can to get her some help.
One of the things you talked about Alabama, and Sheriff Phillips, Chuck, been on the program with us numerous times, and one of the things that I was kind of interested to find out about sheriffs in the state of Alabama, they're responsible. He has for people that don't have any relatives or whatever, and he actually takes care of several elderly, writes their checks and their bills out and things like that. Kind of falls on the sheriff. Yeah. I know it doesn't here in Georgia. Or at least I'm not aware of that.
Right. But, no, it doesn't in Georgia, but that's a great service. I'm glad to see that
somebody kind of looks at them officially, and that's the reason. There's a lot of things that it's commonly called the high sheriff in Georgia, But anyway, just want to let everybody know that you have made your announcement to seek re-election.
Yes, I have. We're getting started on our campaign, and I believe it's going to be a good year, and we anticipate being back in office. So we appreciate everybody's vote.
Well, we're going to talk more here on Sheriff Talk. Take our first break of the morning. When we come back, we will have the news. A lot of it's going on in law enforcement. We'll talk about that coming up. Stay with us as the Sheriff Talk continues here on KWN.
A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology. The Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main offices on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Bart, Aunt Bee don't get around as good as she used to, and she's in need of a lift chair. Well, Andy, you gotta nip it in the bud. Comfort Gallery has catnapper lift chairs in stock with free delivery and setup. Catnapper reclining sofas in leather, designer fabrics, and even camouflage. Catnapper rocker recliners starting at $269. Hey, Andy, I just been over to Comfort Gallery. They also have England sofas by Lazy Boy. Queen-size pillow top mattress sets now $299. King-size sets just $399. Is that a fact? Surprise, surprise, surprise! They now have free 1-year layaway and 6 months same as cash. And listen up, Andy. For the credit challenge, they now offer no credit check payment plans. Located in Kimball, Tennessee in the Old Hills building. That's Comfort Gallery Mattress and Furniture, open 7 days a week. Y'all go by there and see Gary.
Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street in Kimball. Free delivery and setup, 90 days same as cash, and easy payment plans. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 5. Telephone 423-837-3000.
The 2016 Fiat 500X has arrived, and it's ready to drive at Fiat of Huntsville. This perfectly bold crossover is impressively equipped with a turbocharged engine, seating for 5, available all-wheel drive, and just $249 a month or $4,000 off. Plus, you get customizable amenities like 5 different trim levels to perfectly match your style. Come experience the all-new Fiat 500X at Fiat of Huntsville or online at fiatusaofhuntsville.com, a Frank Williams dealership.
Everything for the hunter and the outdoorsman is right here at Scenic Outdoors, 2548 Scenic Highway, Lookout Mountain. Your hunting, fishing, and camping supply headquarters. Scenic Outdoors carries rifles, shotguns, handguns, semi-automatic to revolvers. We're a federally licensed gun dealer featuring the best brands: Ruger, Savage, Mossberg, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Springfield, Charger Arms, Palmetto, and Taurus. We've got a large selection of ammo at Scenic Outdoors, and gunsmith services are available too. Take Highway 136 to New Salem, then north on Scenic Highway 4 miles to Scenic Outdoors, 398-0080. Scenic Outdoors.
1,000 people will win $1,000 every day at H&R Block.
Turn my music.
$1,000 people win $1,000 every single day for a month. Get in on this.
Turn my music.
I will not lose.
It's refund season!
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Enjoy the super buffet and salad bar anytime, or have any of our specialty pizzas made to order and delivered right to your table. At Stevie B's in Fort Payne, we make our own dough, assuring you the best possible pizza. Book your parties at Stevie B's in Fort Payne, plus ask about catering and fundraisers too. Call Stevie B's 256-979-1234 and find out more. Great pizza and a family atmosphere. Stevie B's, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne.
You're watching KWN TV, the home of area high school sports. KWN, live and local TV. Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. We welcome everyone back. We're joined with Bo Burnett, Sheriff of Marion County. Hello, Sheriff.
That red light caught me again.
Hey,
when I got off the exit, it was green. By the time I got to it, it turned yellow. And I said, well, here's next. I know where I'm going to be the next 5 minutes.
You know, it's kind of funny, but before we get into the what Mike's got to share with us. Last night I was talking to a gentleman. He was talking about that red light getting off the interstate. It's one of the longest, they need to get DOT to try to check into it.
They got boxes. They can adjust the time or whatever.
You're not the only one complaining about it.
I'm not complaining. That's my excuse for being late.
I heard that. Well, we get several things going on concerning law enforcement that we're going to talk to you about and bring you up to date. Mike, in the control room, going to run down some of the stories that you can find at the Mountain Valley Independent. Mike?
All right, and of course, one of those stories is, of course, coming right out of DeKalb County, and that's where we'll start. That's one that we've been following for several days. As a matter of fact, since Saturday on radio and in the newspaper, and that is a Saturday night shooting almost Sunday morning. It was around midnight Eastern time on Saturday night that resulted in one dead, one injured, and one is in jail now. DeKalb County Sheriff Jimmy Harris reporting about that time. DeKalb County 911 got the call that a shooting had taken place near the Shiloh Community Church there on County Road 155 in the Higdon community. Fort Payne Police, along with deputies from DeKalb County, Ider, also the Drug Task Force, and Jackson County, arrived there and found 40-year-old Cody Lee Wade of Higdon in possession of a gun. Now, Wade's mother had told deputies the incident started on Saturday night when Wade and a female friend got into a domestic dispute. She called a couple of friends, Barry White and William Gilreath, to come over and help her. White is from Walker County, Georgia. Gilreath from Jackson County. When they arrived, Wade himself tried to get in the vehicle. He was denied that when White drove off, and Wade began to shoot at them. And at that point, White and Gilreath were both hit. The car ran off into a ditch near the church. Now, 45-year-old White died on the scene. William Gilreath of Jackson County was injured in that. And, of course, Wade was arrested and taken on to the DeKalb County Detention Center. He is charged with murder at this point, and we'll continue to keep you up to date on what happens with that particular situation. As of today, this is Tuesday when we record the program, we do know that he is still in the DeKalb County Jail on those charges. A couple of things out of Dade County that those of you watching on television may or may not have been aware of, but we've been following on radio, that happened since we recorded last on January 20th, back last week in the evening. K-9 Deputy Casey York here in Dade County initiated a traffic stop for a turn signal violation. During that time, he noticed what indicated drug activity, ultimately locating over a gram of methamphetamine along with weighing scales and some other items. The two men on the screen you see there, James Townsend and Scott Haldane, were arrested. Townsend is from Jasper. Haldane is from Trenton, both charged with possession of methamphetamine, distribution, and possession of drug-related objects, and Townsend additionally charged with turn signal violation. Also in Alabama, a vehicle stolen from central Alabama, Talladega County, in fact, was recovered in DeKalb County this week. The woman on the screen, Rachel Jones Crane, was arrested as a result. A vehicle located on County Road 192 in the Crossville community. Deputies and police there arrived. They obtained the opportunity to search there, and during that, they recovered the stolen truck along with several other items. Crane is 38. She is from the Crossville community and was arrested and on receiving stolen property in the first degree. And also, Sheriff Cross himself, while out on routine patrol in the Wildwood community, a little less than a week ago, observed a suspicious vehicle there at the Wildwood Post Office. A couple of juveniles and an adult male in the car there. Throughout the sheriff's investigation, he discovered marijuana in that vehicle. Two juveniles were turned over to their guardians. Arrested was the man on your screen, 18-year-old Jesse Davidson of Rising Fawn, arrested and charged with possession of marijuana. Just remember, as Sheriff Cross and his deputies have told you, they are patrolling communities, and if you see suspicious activity, you are encouraged to contact the Dade County Sheriff's Department, 657-3233, and let them know what you see. We'll go back to the desk, gentlemen. It's all yours.
And we do want to add, too, the Jackson County and DeKalb County continues their investigation into the what they're calling a murder-suicide of the two brothers there in the Bryant and also the Ider area. No more information has been released as of this time, but that's also been going on by the authorities in North Alabama.
But the shooting there in DeKalb County, the man that got murdered, he was called over there to help this girl and ended up getting. I understand.
According to the press release, she wanted to leave and had called them, and they came over to pick her up. And
one of them got shot. Yeah, both of them got shot.
Yeah. And,
never know, do you?
No, not at all. I mean, you really don't on how these things unfold.
You wonder what goes through people's minds. I mean, that's a decision that's going to affect him the rest of his life, plus the other people. I mean, I just wonder about why do people do crazy things like that. I guess if I had that answer, I'd have a bigger job than what I've got now. But you do wonder about things. I mean, I know we all see it, but people just make crazy mistakes or do crazy things. And
Well, and speaking, off of this particular subject, or it could be on any kind of things. A lot of time, people make permanent decisions on problems that are just momentary incidents. They unfortunately, they.
And, I don't know about this particular situation, but a lot of times drugs and alcohol plays a big part in those decisions. I don't know whether that's this part, but a lot of them. But it just amazes me over the years. I've seen people just ruin their lives and ruin other people's lives over things that I probably wouldn't give a second thought about.
And that leads me to something. Because one of the last stories he talked about was a person that you arrested personally, a suspicious vehicle. But I don't think they understand. I know you've had several people in the last few months. You've said, well, they said, well, it's just marijuana. But they don't understand that you see, all three of y'all see firsthand what marijuana and other drugs do to families and to situations. Ain't none of it good.
Well, we took there was 2 juveniles in the car also, and when the parents came to pick the juveniles up, I said, you want to go back here in the back and talk to some of these inmates that fix to go to prison and let your daughter see what's going on and stuff? They said, yeah. So we took her back there with the parents accompanying us, and we had all the inmates sitting on the table, and I asked them, I said, this girl was saying that marijuana was not a gateway drug and stuff, but I asked all the inmates there, and I asked them how many of them thought it was a gateway drug. Most of them raised their hand and said, yeah, we started out on marijuana, and it progressed to something else a little stronger until now. Like Sheriff Burnett said, it's just ruined their lives and their families' lives, and these women have kids, and it just affects whole families and friends and everybody else. But they're getting the attitude nowadays is just marijuana is nothing anymore. It's just like it's not even a crime, but it is, and we're going to treat it that way because the many lives it is affecting.
Well, I know when they legalized the sale of marijuana in Colorado, and I think Washington State or a couple of other states have done that, the sheriff's associations there in Colorado came out and was adamantly against it. But and I think now we know what our sheriffs are saying, adamantly against it, because you see the day-to-day effects.
That's right. A lot of people don't see the effects that we see. We see it firsthand. We see car wrecks, we see murders, and suicides, whatever. But it all affects from these drugs that they shouldn't even be taking.
I don't think you'll find a police association or a sheriff's association nationwide that's going to come out in support of it. What gets me, the people that pass laws, they never talk to the people that have to deal with us. Right. And I'm like you. I'm dead set against it. And I'm not saying everybody that smokes marijuana is going to be a hardcore, but I would think there would be enough that it'd all be something to consider before you start passing new laws legalizing it. 2 weeks ago we have a pill problem. We arrested 3 women selling pills, seized their cars about 2 weeks ago, and just amazes me the amount of pills out on the street. We don't make as many marijuana arrests as we do pills being sold.
Well, I know that what they call the killers in the cabinet, because they're easily obtained. A lot of people get them through their doctor legally, and then have them in their drug cabinets, and some of them unfortunately sell them.
Out of the last 11, my detectives told me out of the last 11 people we charged with selling pills, 7 of them had to obtain them through the state 10-care program. Of course, they've got state's got people now to investigate that. We've turned those names over to them, but they were telling me just because they did that don't mean they're automatically cut off. And I thought, well, why do anything? If they're abusing the system, cut them off.
Yeah. Well, with any drug, marijuana, poppy seeds, which comes from heroin, and stuff like that. There is a use for it if it's done in the right way. And you take marijuana, they're taking oils out of it. They used it for cancer patients, but if they're used in a scientific type way, that's good. But recreational use for marijuana, it shouldn't be happening. Just like heroin or anything else, they're misusing that stuff and abusing it, and we have deaths every day from it. We just buried a boy here last week that OD'd on what we think is going to be fentanyl patches. So any drug that you misuse or anything you misuse is harmful to you. So we're trying our best as deputies and law enforcement to stop the.
One of the things that happens is there's not as much publicity on things like you're talking about. We see the same thing. We had one 2 weeks ago, 50-year-old that died, and we're pretty certain he died from overdose of prescription because the pills were there, and he'd filled the prescription a couple of days before and taken all of them. But we have probably one a week, maybe, and this is just a small county. Can you imagine, say, Hamilton County and Chattanooga?
Right.
But a lot of that's just abuse from pills and drugs, and we're losing a lot of people. And but like I said, they don't get the publicity.
Sheriff, what I understand up in Hamilton County, because of the misuse of crack cocaine, and they have so many arrests on it, that now I believe that's a misdemeanor charge up there from what I hear, where it should be a felony, but the courts are just overrun with this epidemic.
Let's talk about that when we come back. We got another break coming up, so stay with us. I'm going to ask the sheriffs on just that particular issue. We'll have more Sheriff Talks continuing right here on KWN TV. Back after this.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Hey, why not come make a day or two of it at the I-59 Flea Market Mall? Open Saturday and Sunday at exit 231 off I-59 between Trenton and Fort Payne. Find anything and everything at the I-59 Flea Market Mall, including antiques, furniture, jewelry, clothing, electronics, computer games, CDs, DVDs, collectibles, glassware, and the list goes on and on, all at the I-59 Flea Market Mall. Parking is free and we're open rain or shine. Come every weekend and see what's new at the I-59 Flea Market Mall. Exit 231 off I-59 between Trenton and Fort Payne. Open 8 to 3 Saturday and Sunday. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve. The Tax Clinic is now open in a new location as part of the Boss Business Center, 29490 Alabama Highway 71, right across from the ball fields at North Sand Mountain School. With over 40 years of experience, the Tax Clinic provides year-round tax and payroll services. The Tax Clinic urges you to start gathering documents so we can help you file your 2015 tax returns. The Tax Clinic, now part of the Boss Business Center, located at 29490 Alabama Highway 71. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, Saturday 10 to 2. 256-597-3829 for the Tax Clinic, taking care of whatever ails you in the tax world.
Georgia Northwestern Technical College wants to help put you to work. Our programs in business, health, industrial, and public service will train you for the jobs available today. GNTC offers schedules in day, evening, and online classes at 5 campus locations with financial aid options too. You are sure to find a career path that works for you with our variety of degrees, diplomas, and certificates available. Visit us in person or on the web at gntc.edu. Georgia Northwestern Technical College. Your career begins here.
KWN Live and Local TV, the home of the Jackson County Tournament. Join us for tournament action right here on your Live and Local TV station, KWN, as the Jackson County boys and girls battle it out both JV and varsity. You'll watch all the games right here. It's the Jackson County Basketball Tournament right here on KWN TV.
Check your local guide for times and days of the Jackson County Tournament broadcast on KWN TV.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic, all about Dade County schools. Monday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on KWN TV. Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. Interesting discussion today. A lot of times, as if you watch the show week to week, we don't have sometimes we have a general idea of some of the questions we're going to talk about, some of the activities. But today we've kind of just let the information go where it's led. And you brought up something, Sheriff, that there's so many arrests in you used Chattanooga, and as I'm assuming you know this, that they're not punishing them probably where they need to be.
Well, that's a rumor I've heard. I'm not saying that's gospel, but I heard it on the crack cocaine arrests, and now they're misdemeanors where they used to be felonies because of so many arrests in the county there. But it seems to have got to where it's a money thing. We worry about the money, how much it's costing to house these people, which it is, I know, enormous. But as I've seen here in Dade County in northwest Georgia, the northern tip of Georgia, right here bordering Tennessee and Alabama, it's like the state is kind of forgotten about us up here. We're so far up that they just don't, they're dumping everything on us, and they took away our mental health facilities. Now we have to travel 6 or 7 hours to take somebody to a mental health facility, and 2 ways, there and back. That's enormous cost on the county as far as paying an officer for overtime and gas mileage and all that.
You don't use them Watson Bend?
No, we can't take them into Tennessee. They have to stay in Georgia. So that's a big burden on us.
The punishments for you arrest somebody for drugs, and I understand we got first offenders, and it seems like we get into a routine where not only do we have first offender and second offender, they'll give you more probation. There's no deterrent to stay out of jail.
Yeah, and a lot of the inmates know that, and they think, well, I'll go to jail and I'll spend a couple months in jail and I'll be back out. Now it seems like even when they're getting sent to prison, that they're doing less time in prison than they would be if they were sentenced to county time. So
I believe walk in the front door and go out the back.
It sure seems like it, Sheriff.
It amazes me. We send people to prison, and I don't always get notification and release till I might see them out on the street, and it amazes me. They're staying over 3 or 4, 5 months and out to go.
Yeah, and the thing about it, we'll bring people into jail on drug charges or something. They'll be hooked on either meth or heroin or some kind of drug like that, and a lot of times families will bond them out right then, and they haven't even detoxed yet, so they're going to go right back to that drug.
I've seen on numerous occasions, too many occasions, where we'll report on somebody that's been arrested for methamphetamine, and before they ever go to trial, they'll be arrested twice more.
Sure. Yeah.
The way our court, with 6 months from our court system, the way it is in Superior Court, they could have 3 methamphetamine different cases against them before they ever go to one.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about the rehab facilities they get sent to. We were talking about percentages of how much help it does. I've seen very few. The sheriff knows here. We've arrested hundreds, if not thousands, of drug abusers, and when they get sent to rehab, they may do good for a little while, but they're right back on it in just a few weeks. Is what my experience has been with it. I've only had 2 to 3 maybe that have really come off of it and stayed off of it for several years now. Out of all the people we've arrested, maybe 2 to 3, and that's a terrible statistic.
Now, y'all also can talk about the fact that once you get hooked on, say, methamphetamine, it's not an easy task for them to be able to. You got to have some willpower and some. You got to really want to do that. I mean, it's a hard road to come off of.
The best one I've seen is in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and those people don't give you idle time. They get you out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they don't let you go back to bed till 11 o'clock at night. And I think probably the one thing that hurts people is they have nothing to do, and during the day or whatever. Then if you ain't got nothing to do, you're going to start thinking about drugs, and you're going to get out. And I guess that's the theme behind the one in Shelbyville. I've sent people over there, and they've got called and wanted to come back. They said they'd rather be in jails over there because that's 7 days a week, 4 o'clock in the morning, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, they've got you going all day long, but I guess that's how they use it to keep your mind off the drugs. Is have you out here working or doing something to keep your mind busy.
Right. The majority of our inmates are not bad people. They've just got hooked on these drugs and can't get off of them. And like I say, it's a step-by-step, day-by-day thing. They just can't, every day they have that urge. They're trying to fight against these drugs, and we got to have some accountability for them. There's the families are going to have to help. If they go to rehab, that's going to have to. The family's going to have to be involved with it and keeping them away from these people that they've been hanging around and going back to that same situation that's going to get them hooked back on these drugs.
We actually have a drug court in the 12th Judicial District. It covers 6 counties. Judge Perry, who's retired now, he runs the drug court, and we send people over there. But we sent a guy. Well, they have a board that interviews you, and they decide whether they're going to accept you in drug court or not. And we sent a guy through the court over there and interviewed him. During the course of the interview, he said, well, I don't have a drug problem. He said, I sell drugs. I don't use them. So they rejected him, sent him back. We sent him to prison. But I thought, get up there and admit that. You know, I think Judge Perry told me their percentage rate of people that actually go through the program and do good, 6-7%. You know, and he told me, he said, I'm going to lose a lot. I know it. But he don't play with them. You know, once you come in there and you drug test and you test dirty or you don't do what you're doing, they revoke you and stick you back in jail.
I'm sure we go back and y'all can attest to this, but in my years ago in law enforcement, 90% of the problems come from 10% of the people. Probably still that way.
Probably 5%.
Kevin, in our jail, you know, he sees a lot of this come in, you know, firsthand as they bring him into the jail, and he might tell you a little bit about what he sees as they come in.
Yeah, Kevin, I know that you're fixing to go out on and go to mandate school, but you've seen this firsthand with all the inmates. I mean, bonding out seems to be a knee-jerk reaction, and I'm a daddy. We're all think, well, we don't want our child being in jail, but sometimes it's the best thing.
Yeah, you have a lot of them. They want best for their child or their grandkids or something, but on the other hand, they feel sorry for them and they want to get them out. But I've talked to a lot of family members, and I mean, getting them out within 2 or 3 days, it's just hurting them. You know, they're going to get right back out on it. The best thing is to have the tough love and leave them in there and let them dry out, and then try to do something about it. You know, get them some help. But like you said before, you got to have the willpower to to do it yourself too, also. But the family support, helps out a lot.
Well, it's a situation that y'all know all too well, but at least when you're in a facility, depending on city, county, wherever it's at, and you don't have access to these type of drugs, and you can start to get at least the process. And oftentimes, I mean, you probably attest the fact that you have to help them through the process. A lot of them, they have to come down off of this, or they're arrested when they're high. They have to come down, and it ain't a pretty sight.
Of course, it's a constant battle. Anybody who works in jail will tell you to keep it out. I mean, when you got inmates going in and out working, I have work crews and stuff. I mean, they'll do anything they can to try to get drugs into jail. Mm-hmm. It's we catch them all the time. Don't catch all of them, but I mean, it's just you'd just be amazed at what people do try to sneak drugs into the jail. It's just. And that's going to happen when you got people going in and out, get released, coming in, work crews, litter crews. You're gonna have problems sometimes.
I was absolutely amazed when I went through the detention officer school, and I still remember it. All the different things that they showed. This was made inside the jail, mm-hmm. and the different ways that they can make different knives and all kinds of different weapons. I was just like, wow. And I'm sure the sophistication has even got that much better now. But I mean, of things that you try hard not to give them anything that they can work anything with, and they'll take something and make something out of it. Mm-hmm. You probably see that still now.
Oh yeah.
They
we do shakedowns, try to do 2 a month, but every time, I mean, we find stuff all the time, and it's just, I don't know. Like I said, if you got people going in and out, you're gonna have problems, and they do. They can make some good stuff back there. Like you said, just using toilet paper and water or something. It just, I'm thinking, guys, these guys get out and use that ability to do something good instead of that. They really could accomplish a lot. But there's some talented people back there, but they just don't use it.
Going in a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more with the sheriffs as we continue. It's a good program this week. Sheriff Talk continues after this.
Little Caesars is your game day party headquarters.
Pizza.
Right now at Little Caesars in Trenton and in Kimball, check out the super deals for your game day on party-size pizzas, the classic round pizzas, and the deep dish pizza. Get 3 large classic rounds for just $15, or 3 large deep dish pizzas for just $24. And the deals just get better from there. Little Caesars, 4651 Highway 136 West in Trenton, and 411 Kimball Crossing in Kimball.
At Gross Furniture in Trenton, Georgia, you get the savings, the selection, and the satisfaction of getting the furniture you deserve at the prices you want. Come in, relax, and take your time. Our staff can assist you with the entire process, from expert advice to professional delivery. That's because Gross Furniture is local and treats you with honesty. Just north of the Courthouse Square on Highway 11 in Trenton. Gross Furniture, the home furnishing store that offers you more.
This is Pastor David Smith, pastor of the New Home Baptist Church in Pisgah, Alabama. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to worship with us this Sunday at New Home Baptist Church.
Romans Mobile Homes can help make the dream of home ownership come true. Come by and see our on-the-line selection of manufactured homes, or sit down with us and let us custom design your top-of-the-line constructed manufactured home. With names like Cabco and Clayton, we can design anything from 1 to 6 bedrooms, shingle or metal roof, finished drywall, and more. All our homes come with central heat and air, including a heat pump. Financing available, and prices include delivery and setup. See us today at Romans Mobile Homes, 2019 Highway 136 West, just west of the four-way stop, top of Sand Mountain. 706-657-8807. Romans Mobile Homes.
The Tax Clinic is now open in a new location as part of the Boss Business Center, 29490 Alabama Highway 71, right across from the ball fields at North Sand Mountain School. With over 40 years of experience, the Tax Clinic provides year-round tax and payroll services. The Tax Clinic urges you to start gathering documents so we can help you file your 2015 tax returns. The Tax Clinic, now part of the Boss Business Center, located at 29490 Alabama Highway 71. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, Saturday 10 to 2. 256-597-3829 for the Tax Clinic, taking care of whatever ails you in the tax world.
Education is the fundamental foundation for success. As an at-large member of the Jackson County School Board, together with you, I will make every effort to ensure that our children are prepared for college or any career they choose. My name is John Latta, and I offer myself as a candidate who has a proven history of hard work, honesty, and financial responsibility. And I pledge to continue to work diligently to serve as a member of our Board of Education. I thank you in advance for taking time to participate in the democratic process by voting.
Find out what's going on all over Sand Mountain. It's Sand Mountain Community Watch, Wednesday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on KWN-TV. Right now, the Sheriff Talk, very interesting conversation today with Bo Burnett, Sheriff of Marion County, Sheriff Ray Cross, and Officer Haswell with the Dade County Sheriff's Department here on the program today. Y'all going to leave here, and of course I know many of you are watching different times of the week and different hours of the day, but today's the day we all gather together and really have a conversation about crime that knows no boundaries. And I think y'all have and hopefully everybody does this, but I don't hear a lot of it. Maybe y'all have just made it public, the fact that y'all share information, and y'all realize the same folks go across state lines all day long.
We do. And one of our big cases we just had involved Jackson County. We went to serve a warrant and stumbled on a bunch of drugs and stuff, but that's the way this thing works. And of course, Marion County, we have the chases that go in and out of our states all the time, and drugs come across the borders. So we try to work together to combat these things, and I think it's been a good thing, as I'm sure Sheriff Burnett feels the same way, that we'll get and pass this information down with our detectives and our drug task force officers, and it really helps in combating a lot of these crimes. And some of these, I know a couple of these meetings we've had, the very evening that we left, we've had arrests coming in and out of states. So
Well, one of the stories at the beginning of this program was about a couple of people arrested here in Dade County. One of them was from Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
One was from
I
Marion
caught
County.
that on there.
And so I mean, you got state lines. A lot of people work in different counties and whatever. I think it's good, and y'all try to get together on a quarterly basis and really, especially with the drug task force. I think that's where a lot of the information goes that needs to be.
I called Sheriff Burnett here a few weeks ago and asked him if I could borrow a couple of his officers to go track down a girl we had a warrant on, and they spent most of the evening with me. We didn't find her, but they did help, and I appreciate it very much. But we did finally locate her, Sheriff. She's we're going to pick her up tomorrow. She's in South Carolina, so at least we found her.
Well, see, South Carolina, that's a good ways. But I mean, we all know around here. I mean, a lot of us travel. We'll go to Scottsboro and eat, or Chattanooga to eat, or Fort Payne will come to wherever. I mean, there's no boundaries, even though that you do have jurisdictions.
Good day today. Sheriff Cross is sponsoring it today, and me and my guys hadn't eaten for 2 days. Get ready for you. So
sounds like I'm gonna have a big bill up there.
He put the word out Monday morning and say, "Hey, we're going to Dade County Tuesday. Y'all don't eat nothing."
Don't eat. Everybody suffer for 2 days and wear them out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, I think y'all are meeting today at Randy's. They're the one I guess will suffer.
Yeah, probably so.
You got that good buffet over there.
Yeah, we'd like to switch it up, but Randy's has that private room back there. We have to, the stuff we have to talk about is confidential. We can't be in there with the public sitting there listening to it. But we thank Randy for letting us come up there and do this, and good food also.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I know that in just a couple of minutes on our next segment, you're going to go ahead and sneak out because that starts at about 12 o'clock. So,
yes. And
we'll end up with this program and keep Sheriff Burnett with us and Officer Haswell for our next segment coming up. But we always get on these conversations of the fact that understandably the public has got to get behind some of this. If you know people that are dealing drugs, hung out on drugs, they're destroying lives, and they're destroying families. And, you may be at home struggling yourself and don't know what to do. These guys don't want to put you in jail. They're not looking for numbers and having, they don't get their numbers up. I mean, Sheriff Burnett's trying to get his down.
Yeah. I don't think there's a jail in the country that, they want it full. Most people like me, I'd like to see people get straightened out and not have to have a jail that's full.
Well, that's our goal, to get these people off these drugs, not to keep arresting them. And, if somebody wants to come to our jails and say, I need help, we'll help them any way we can without arresting them. And also, if there's any parents out there that have children that they suspect might be doing drugs, bring them by. We'll give them a free drug test. Won't put them in jail. That's just for your knowledge and to help get them off of this stuff. So
I'm glad you brought that up because you started this about a year ago, I guess it was, and we announced it here on this program. Now, this is anyone, what age? I know you got an age limit, but I can't remember what it is.
I'd have to look. Juveniles, have to be
18 and under.
Yeah, they would have to be, juvenile would have to be associated with them. But anyone 18 and older, if a parent wants to bring them by, we can definitely do that. Or even juveniles, if their parents there, they can do it with their consent.
Now, this is if you got a child that you may or may not suspect, but just wanted to find out.
As a matter of fact, those two girls we were talking about last week, their parents were there and they wanted us to drug test them, and they showed up positive for, I know some opioids, which is pills, and marijuana. So they did show up positive in their system. So now the parents know and they can deal with it.
Well, getting it early before, while they're, for the lack of a better word, experimenting or whatever, that's probably the biggest thing, to be able to, as my granddad used to say, yank a knot in their head and, and get them from making those mistakes. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, being on what level, but some of these mistakes are life-changing.
Right.
They are.
For sure. You're watching Sheriff Talk here on KWN. We'll take a break and come back with our last segment right after this.
Step into yesterday at Junk Salvation in Trenton on South Main Street right across from Citizens Bank and Trust. Junk Salvation features antiques, architectural salvage, repurposed furniture, and unique items with everything from glassware to furniture. Junk Salvation is truly one of the most unique shops you'll find anywhere. Now at Junk Salvation, we have mud paint. Mud paint gives your furniture that vintage look. Come find out more today at Junk Salvation, 12254 South Main Street, right across from Citizens Bank and Trust in Trenton. Step into yesterday at Junk Salvation, 657-JUNK.
Romans Mobile Homes can help make the dream of home ownership come true. Come by and see our on-the-line selection of manufactured homes, or sit down with us and let us custom design your top-of-the-line constructed manufactured home. With names like Tabco and Clayton, we can design anything from 1 to 6 bedrooms, shingle or metal roof, finished drywall, and more. All our homes come with central heat and air, including a heat pump. Financing available, and prices include delivery and setup. See us today at Romans Mobile Homes, 2019 Highway 136 West, just west of the four-way stop, top of Sand Mountain. 706-657-8807. Romans Mobile Homes.
Morningstar Dry Cleaners, your local dry cleaners, located at 57 Crabtree Street, right behind Dorcrisp Realty in Trenton. Morningstar Dry Cleaners offers a drop-off location for after hours and pickup service for businesses. We wash, dry, fold, iron, press, dry clean, and yes, we do alterations too. Now under new ownership, Morningstar Dry Cleaners. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday for your convenience. Call them today, 657-3685. Morningstar Dry Cleaners on Crabtree Street, right behind Dorcrisp Realty in Trenton. Taqueria El Gordo, open on Highway 136 West next to Randy's Pawn Shop, featuring authentic Mexican food with fresh local ingredients. Our beef and pork is USDA inspected, raised locally at Triple H Farms on Lookout Mountain. Traditional Mexican cuisine for lunch and dinner, including homemade tortillas. Enjoy that authentic Mexican cuisine now in our new indoor seating area. Taqueria El Gordo, open 6 days a week, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Highway 136 West, next to Randy's Pawn Shop.
Take the speculation out of your legal questions today by calling Legal Services. Now open in Dade County, providing paralegal and attorney services. Legal Services can prepare your will, healthcare directives, living wills, power of attorney, contracts, and legal agreements. Legal Services can help you with all of your criminal and family law needs. Open weekdays 9 to 5. After-hour appointments are available. Don't worry about your legal position. Call Legal Services today. 708-4362. Highway 136 West, foot of Sand Mountain. Legal Services. Licensed Georgia and Tennessee. And Keaton invites everyone to the new Artsy Cafe across from Citizens Bank and Trust in Trenton. The Artsy Cafe features homemade sandwiches, soups, and salads. Start with a great breakfast menu at 6:30 a.m. Our menu includes fresh roasted coffee, served hot with a full line of espresso drinks, cappuccinos, lattes, and more. Satisfy your sweet tooth with a visit to our dessert bar, featuring over 25 different pastries, cakes, and pies. Call ahead at 657-FOOD. Open Monday through Saturday until 9. Make a stop at the gift shop on your way out at the Artsy Cafe. Meet your friends today at the Artsy Cafe. All the news about Jackson County with Jackson County's Chamber Chat every Tuesday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on KWN TV. Sheriff Talk continues here on KWN. Officer Haswell, who is right now sergeant, right, in the or corporal in the detention center here in Dade County, and of course Sheriff Bo Burnett with Marion County Sheriff's Department, and we're continuing on with the program. It's been a good program so far. Patrick Core was by here earlier, and I'll always remember him last year. Matter of fact, he was even on the show with us, with you and. Snow was in the forecast, you know. And you asked him, "Are we going to get?" And he said, "Yeah, you're going to get a pretty good bid."
Yeah, I gave him a hard time.
You
every
did.
time he comes in here. He's in here this morning, and I was on him about. I say he had a rock hanging from a limb. That when the rock was wet, it was raining, and then when the rock was moving, and the wind was blowing, and he just smiles and goes on.
Yeah, I told him. I said, "This is how he does it." Okay, it's going to be windy today.
He don't use all that high tech equipment, does he?
No.
You know, last week we were lucky. I talked to my sister-in-law in Nashville, and they got around 7 or 8 inches of snow. But it seems like we're always on the borderline right here. If the temperature had dropped probably 4 or 5 more degrees Friday afternoon, Friday night, we probably would have got a big snow. But we just got a dusting. Well, we had some ice Thursday morning, and people just drive crazy. We had I think at one point I had 8 wrecks at one time, you know, different locations.
Wow.
Stretched my stretched the highway patrol, my people out there for a while till the weather warmed up a little bit. But had about a 2 or 3 hour period there Thursday morning that we were trying to cover wrecks everywhere.
Well, I know that area schools were either on delay or closed that day, and it was I think especially we had a lot of problems on Lookout Mountain.
Yeah.
That day from like Burkhalter north had a bunch of icing in the trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, they had shut Suck Creek Mountain down, and of course that's a main corridor for people on the north end of the county going to Chattanooga. Had shut it down for a while till they got it salted, but like I said, we're always on that always on the edge there. You know, if temperature dropped a little bit, we would probably get a good snow or big snow.
Well, like you said, I think Nashville had a record-breaking snow with 8 inches. Knoxville only had 2 or 3,
yep.
But just north of there, all the way up, some foot, and we've seen that around here. How do you prepare for that? I mean, do you?
We have 4-wheel drives in the department. Plus, we have 2 of the Hummers that we got a couple of years ago. I spent a lot of money on this summer getting them ready. They're sitting there ready to go, and my philosophy is, you know, if the roads are bad, I have the officers stay at the department. I don't want them out here tearing up a patrol car, getting hurt. And we answer calls as needed. But we have equipment ready to go if we have a bad snow, and have a lot of help. So we do a good job covering it.
How many square miles do you have? You got a lot of
525.
Wow. So we only
a
got
lot of it's mountains, so
yeah.
You know, it may be nice and like it is today, wet and rainy, but then you get on the mountain, that temperature can decrease 10 degrees and you'll end up in snow and ice out there.
Right. I guess Officer Haswell can sure speak on this, I'm sure, but we know in Dade, we know Burkhalter, Hales Gap, County Road 6, and the top of the mountain there on the east and west on the state road. Those are going to go first, and I'm sure you got the same thing.
Well, a lot of the mountains have the state highways, and the state does a good job of spraying that. They got something new they spray,
brine or something, and I'm not really sure.
They sprayed it the day before, but what usually really hurts us is the side roads. The highway department just doesn't have the money or the equipment to do a whole lot, covering that many miles. So a lot of times the side roads are what are really icy or bad, and that's where we end up having to go help people get out of the ditch or pull their car out of the ditch or whatever. But the main roads, South Pittsburgh Mountain, Suck Creek Mountain, Tracy Mountain, all those roads, Monteagle, weather's always, I seen on the weather, I guess Friday night, they were, the Chattanooga news media people were reporting from Monteagle. And
I think that they'll
look
put
like a different world out there
from
from there to here. It's just amazing what a few degrees would do. Difference.
That seems to be the place to go. If they put, a dust in the snow, they'll head to Monteagle where they can report.
Yeah, stand out there in the snow.
You worked, Officer Haswell, out with some inmates out in the community cleaning up and worked on that road crew for a while.
Yes.
The roads, can get changed quickly. Like Sheriff said with the winter, and the best thing to do if you know what's going to happen is just not get out there.
Stay home.
That's right.
But I do want to ask you a little bit about before we end up this program is the fact that the litter program that y'all got with the Sheriff's Department, that seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good program. It's a continuous battle. People's always going to throw something out the window. Right now we have Officer Waters. He's took over the program. He's doing a great job with it. Back when I was doing it, it wasn't nothing to get 1,400 pounds in 8 hours. So yeah, it's a continuous thing, but it's really good that they have the program available. Like I said, we get a lot of trash, people throwing out tires, so it just kind of keeps the community clean. If we didn't have it, when it first started up, I know there was a lot of trash that was picked up when it was first started, so it's a pretty good program.
I remember one of the first things that I remember the sheriff calling me on was I think Sligo Ridge Road, where they had found mattresses and couches and tires, and and they were up there for hours cleaning out just one ravine that somebody made a little dump up there going across a road that's not well traveled.
Right.
like that. So y'all got most of that cleaned up now, don't you? That type of out of the way dump.
The big dumps that we had in the county, most of them's all cleaned up, and right now it's just the small stuff down the sides of the roads, and there's a few of the spots that are still considered dumps that you can't really catch them when they're dumping, so we have to go back every now and then and address them spots.
All too well on the tires. He hit on the sore subject, I'm sure, with you.
Yeah, we haven't had any problems since this last incident, but we're still got reward money offered to anybody. We've had a problem probably the last 6 months, people dumping tires usually on State Highway 41 and highway going through Whiteside, and I've had money available to if anybody had information to help make an arrest on that. Talking about litter, we do a litter program at our sheriff department, and I don't know what we would do without it. And you can clean that road up today, and in 2 weeks it's ready to be cleaned up again. But I have a man that runs it, and he takes you 3 to 4 inmates. And also this spring we're going to take over the states. We've signed a contract with the state where I'm going to take over the state highways. They want it done 3 times a year, and they came to me and said, y'all know the roads best. If we give you the money, would you do it? So we've signed a contract with them. We're going to do like Highway 41 and the state highways run through the county starting in April, I believe.
Well, I'm glad of that because it helps you with your budget.
Right.
You get some extra money. You've got inmates.
Right.
And it gets the roads cleaned up.
Right. And there's no cost to it much. We already have a truck, and like I said, inmates mostly it's just garbage bags and labor.
Well, it's another way that the taxpayers of Marion County are getting some of their state money that they pay into their state taxes back, because the state's actually paying you, so you're getting to see some of that back in the county.
Public like to see people out here cleaning the roads, and people in jail doing a little work. They don't want them just sitting there having a good life. They want to get out here and do a little work. We were talking about that. A day's work's not going to kill nobody. I don't want to get on my soapbox, but I think we've got too easy with these jails over the years. Courts have ruled against us, and a lot of things that we do now in jails are from rulings in court. And when I first started, now we have a TCI, Tennessee Corrections Institute, that are come in and inspect the jails, and we have their regulation book is about that thick. I think a lot of it's just over too much. Like I said, I don't want to see nobody abused, but I don't think it's going to hurt somebody to get out and work 8 hours a day, and might stop them from coming back next time if they have to work and get out and do something instead of just laying up watching TV and complaining to me about the food and everything else.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. A jail's not something that you need to put on your list to aspire to.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's come down to these days.
Yeah, a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to go back. I'll go back for a month or two. They get in their minds that, well, if I do this, so what if I get caught? I'll be there for a month and I'll be out.
Right. But it's not that bad. They say we got free lights, water, food. They say, and I've heard them tell me before, it can't get no better than this. That ain't something that they want to get in their mind, because I've been in 2 years, so I've seen the familiar faces over and over and over. They don't bother them no more because they know what it's about, and it's just laid back, kind of like a vacation in a way, to some of them.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing. I agree with Sheriff and you too that it doesn't need to be something that it's going to be okay to.
Well, back in the 40s and 50s, I know the prisons, from my understanding, was. A lot of people were beat. I don't believe in beating people or mistreating nobody, but like I said over and over, I don't think 8 hours a day of working is going to kill somebody. I don't think that's unusual and cruel punishment to make somebody work. And we have a lot of manpower there, but just so many regulations on stuff. It's just almost to the point you can't hardly do anything. I just get aggravated. All the regulations I have to follow through the state. I have to go by them. If I don't, I'll get decertified, but it doesn't make me like them.
All right. Sheriff, we thank you very much.
Appreciate
It's been a great show. Hope you've enjoyed it this week. I know y'all got an appointment to get to, so we're going to tell everybody We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching and being here as we look at law enforcement around the tri-state area right here on Sheriff Talk. See you then.